Okay, module 5, outreach, messages, and closing. So you've done all the hard work. You've pretty much done your, you've made your account, you've grown followers, you know your niche, but now you actually start needing to message these people to get the brand deals in, okay? So this is where most people freeze. They're scared to message places. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to follow up as well. You're going to have scripts, okay? So moving on. If you're serious about this and you want to have multiple brand deals possibly a week, you want to be sending at least 30 to 50 messages per week. If you're sending 10 messages, well, guess what? You're going to get less deals. And this is the way that it is. If you can target 30 to 50 different brands each week, I guarantee you will be getting multiple deals, multiple free things in a very, very short space of time. But it's also going to give you, it's also going to make, you're going to be able to have conversations with these people and make relationships as well. So try to target them numbers per week, and you will definitely get brand deals. There's no way, it's just not possible. If you send 30 to 50 messages a week, it's not possible that you won't get a brand deal within the first couple of weeks, okay? I promise you that. So expect most people to ignore your first message. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen until you start to figure out what works. Now, if you send 100 messages and you get 80 of them get ignored, 10 of them get replies, but they're not interested, and you only get 3 that actually work, look at what you sent and then optimize it. Change your first message, just like a hook. You've got to change it, okay? But don't worry, that's normal if people don't want to speak to you straight at the start. Maybe it's something to do with your profile or whatever. You're targeting the wrong people. This is why you've got to make send as many messages as possible. I joined a sales company many years ago, and I was the only one on the team. I actually blagged it through on my CV. I put that I had quite a few years sales experience, but I got the job anyway. Everyone else had 5 years experience. The only way I managed to keep that job is I knew when I first got it that everyone was making 100 phone calls a day. I made 200 phone calls a day. I got in there early and I stayed late. And just the fact of having so much repetition and getting more calls in, of all the new hires, I was the first one to make a deal, and I became very, very successful at that company as well. And it's because my manager one day told me that the more phone calls you make, the higher the chance of actually making a deal. So it might sound really simple right now, but if you're sending 10 messages, don't expect to be making a lot of deals. If you're sending 100 messages, then you're going to make more. The more mud you throw at the wall with this, expect to get more chances to get a brand deal, okay? So as your profile improves, your acceptance rate will climb. Exactly the same as my pitch got better, then I started to make more deals as well. So as your profile gets better, you've got more content, you've got more followers, you will start to notice more people will speak to you. But you're not begging them, you're not offering a trade as well. If you haven't done my course already on AI, I tell you how to optimize all your messages. I'm not going to tell you this because you can go and do the course. So go and do the course. If you haven't, go and buy it, because I explain this all in depth about how you can optimize all your messages. Core outreach DM restaurants. Hey, I love the look of your restaurant, and I create content around food, lifestyle, local shops. I'd love to come in this week and create one reel, blah, 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 one Google review, high quality photos you can use. You can see this message that I'm actually giving them, context in terms of what I'm going to do for them. Now, compared to other industries, sometimes you can just start a little bit of a conversation, but if you're targeting an actual brand, you want to give them a little bit more information. If you're trying to sell high ticket for your account, this is obviously not the way to go forward. But if you send them something like this, I would use something a little bit more personal. Obviously, maybe it's the color scheme that they've just changed, or they've just brought out a new product. Put that in the first line. It means that you're not sending a generic message. It shows them that you actually have looked at their account and it's up to date. But you're telling them exactly what you're going to give them. You're telling them what you do already. You know, I normally charge for this. This is a little line that I like to use, but I'm offering it as a collab in exchange for a meal, or, you know, whatever you want to do with them. If that's something you're open to, I can send you some examples of my content. So with this one, it's kind of given them a little bit of a push, but it's not being super salesy and feeling desperate. Okay. You know, if you're open to, I love this line. It's brilliant. If you're open to it, then I can send something across, and you'll be surprised that people will go, well, they're not locking, you know, you're not locking them into an agreement. You're just sending them some samples of content. So you'll get a much higher reply rate from using this line, because like, yeah, I'm open to it. Why not? Send me the stuff over. Send the stuff over. That's already the first step about making a deal with this one. I've jotted all these different ones down. I'm not going to go through them. You can go through them in your own time, but you can see it's more or less the same. I've just done them slightly different. Tailor it as well for whatever industry you need. You can tailor these messages. We can understand if you find that this doesn't work for you, then chop and change. But I do know that this works because I've used it many, many times. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go through this more. Like, if you need help with this, go to my AI course, as I mentioned before. But I think I've explained this more than enough, so you can get you can see the level of message that you need to be sending. You're not just sending, hey, look, I want to come for a meal. You know, do this properly. But if you follow these exact templates, trust me, you will get decent reply rates. So follow up with your messages as well. Don't expect every single person to reply because they're busy. You're not messaging just a random person here. You're going to be messaging the business owner. So business owners are busy. Okay. So if you have sent a message and they haven't got back, follow up 3 to 5 days later. If you don't do that, you're just going to continuously target new businesses when the person might have just been busy. So target them up. I would hit them up 2 times. So I would follow up once with a message like this. Hey, just checking in case my message got buried. Still excited to collab if it's a good fit. Okay. Nice, friendly message, you know, and a lot of the time they'll get back and be like, oh, you know, okay, that sounds great. I was just really busy. Or they might reply like, not really looking to do collabs right now. No problem at all. Thanks for letting me know. If things change in the future, I'd still love to work with you. So they've closed the door, but you've just opened that back up again. Okay. If you send a follow-up message, so you've sent the first message, you've sent the follow-up one, and they still haven't replied, then I would go back in again and use this. It's from a guy called Chris Voss, who used to be the one of the head of negotiation in the FBI. Is, have you given up on? So you can say, have you given up on doing collabs to bring more revenue for your business? And leave it at that. Trust me, it gets such a great reply rate. I use this all the time. So number 1, your initial message that we've talked about. Number 2, a friendly follow-up. If they don't reply, number 3, have you given up on? And then try to figure out which one works the best. So how to reply when they ask for your rates. So this, you know, if somebody asks for your rate and how much is it, you know, you might not want to say straight away that, oh, no, I'll just do it for free, because you might actually be able to get paid. So this is why it's quite good in terms of just getting in the door first, because they might be willing to pay you from day one. They might not do. It depends on the message that you send across, okay? So if they just clearly say, you know, some people just, what are your rates? Straight away. That really, if somebody's going to be so sharp and straight to the point, it's a bit of a turnoff. But yeah, you know, you still possibly have a way to get a deal here. So even if you're happy to do it for free because you're still starting out, you still want to look professional, okay? So you still want to try to make some more money, but you don't want to just say, oh, I'll just do it for free, because then they're like, oh, well, this person isn't professional. So this is what I recommend, to kind of just do something like this. And you can clearly see, like, I'm doing a good message here as well. I'm not just sending back something very brief for them. So here's an example. Thanks for asking. My packages range from free collaborations for select local spots through to paid content packages between $100 and $1,500. This could be pounds, whatever, obviously, depending on what your need is. I like to put something high because then it shows them that, you know, you're possibly making this money. Even if you're not, it still makes the person think, oh, that this person's genuine, this person's professional. If you just say, oh yeah, I'm just looking for a free meal, then what do you think they're going to come back with? For a simple visit, I am happy to collaborate in exchange for the experience to provide real stories, photos, and a review. If you'd like extra deliverables or ongoing content, I can send a sample rate card too. So when you're first starting off, you might not have all your debt kind of done. So sending something like this, first of all, it gets you in the door to do like a free collab, as you just explained, but then it still keeps the door open to then make more money from them. You know, they might be building a new website. They might need a new menu. They might need anything else. And guess who's going to be at the top of their mind? Oh, Susie the other day came down. She did a really good influencer shoot. Let's call her down. And then all of a sudden, you got in the door with something free, and now you're getting paid $100 to maybe $1,500. Maybe they want you to do the whole shoot for them. So as I mentioned before, this is why I like to do free stuff. Get yourself in the door. Once you're in the door and you do a great job, then you've got a much higher possibility of getting paid because they've already seen the level of work they can get from you. Now you look professional, you look flexible, and you don't look desperate as well. Guarantee, barely anyone is doing it like this way. You know, I live over in Asia, and there's influencers all around the place. And I asked to see their phones and go through their messages that they send to brands. And it's very, very basic. They have like a massive, endless, long conversation. Get these things out early, save them time. Business owners don't want to have a massive conversation. They want to know what they're going to get and what it's going to do for them. What are the benefits straight away? As I mentioned before, reply fast. If you're a business, if a business replies and you answer a day or two later, it really doesn't look good. It's not professional at all. As soon as they reply to you, get back to them as soon as possible. You can have all these things saved anyway, so it's not like you need to type it out every single time. Save it in a note, so you just have to copy and paste it in because it's pretty much the same message you're going to be sending. As soon as you see it, get back to them. It doesn't look desperate, okay? So action steps for module 5. Create a list of 20 local restaurants, cafes, or spas. This is anything within your Instagram niche. Send at least 10 DMs using the script above in the next 24 hours. That is what I want you to do today. No excuses. Send 10 DMs and get the ball rolling. If you get the ball rolling, it's going to be much easier to get started. You know, save all your outreach into a simple Google Sheet. I recommend putting it also in Google Sheet and then putting it into AI as well. Go over my AI course. I've mentioned this multiple times, but all of this is going to be manual work. I teach you how to do it with AI. Okay, so fantastic. That's module 5. Now you know how to send the messages. So start sending the messages now, and then we'll move on to module 6.